براد بيت على الامارات على دبي بينشاف
Moi, je ne remets pas sur les cartons.
Semaine demain.
Three, two, one.
Alors, bah, je vous laisse faire.
Ah, on se fait là-bas. Principalement le cortège.
I'm Rick Dalton.
That's your son?
No, it's my stunt double, Cliff Booth.
We just had our screening at the Grand Palais of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Leonardo DiCaprio, Brad Pitt, Margot Robbie, Dakota Fanning was there. It was great. And we're celebrating, having a wonderful dinner here on top of this hotel.
Hey, you're Rick Dalton. Don't you forget it.
First of all, his sets, it's just a joy. He loves cinema so much, as you know, and loves talking about it, you know, there's a great verve and energy on the set. It's unlike any others. And then working together was just a real automatic for us. I can't describe it more than that. It was just really easy and a good laugh, and we came on the scene around the same time. We have a lot of the same references, and we all know the same people, and he's just really giving and generous. You see that in the film.
The first thing Quentin does, besides have you read the script, is he gave us this immense backstory and biography of not only our individual characters, but our relationship together, our history
So
together.
detailed.
As two sort of outsiders in the industry that are sort of making their way, trying day by day to be successful. So having grown up in this town, getting all that reference and being able to work with Brad, I think the first day there was just this automatic understanding of who these types of men were and how they relied on one another implicitly to survive and navigate through this industry.
It's a love letter to this community that we love and have hated at times and adore, and LA, which we love, and cinema and the people, the greats, cinema and television, and even those unsung people who came before us, which is much is like Rick Dalton's character.
What's unique about this movie is it's a slice of life. It's a day in the life of all of these people, the people that are within and without, and certainly the undercurrent of the Manson girls and how that really changed America and culture forever. I mean, that 1969 was not just a seminal year as far as changing cinematic history, but the world. I mean, so many radical movements and things were happening during that time period. He gives us like this sort of time warp, but also mixed with that Tarantino sort of fairy tale aspect of it too. It's this nostalgic look back at a time and what could have been through the eyes of guys that, you know, are on the daily grind just trying to make ends meet. And, you know, our characters are rely on each other for everything.
I think there's actually something kind of groovy about the fact that this isn't based on another movie. It's not based on a franchise. It's not based on a character. It's not a reboot, which I don't even understand what that title means. I just think they're remakes. I'm always proud of the fact that I write my scripts from scratch. And one of the things that I like the most, and sitting here now, going around the world, is that I know that there was a day at one time that I sat at a table in front of a blank piece of paper, and none of this existed at all. And until I started filling out that blank piece of paper, this never would have existed. So I can always go back to that day and remember where none of this existed at all until I filled it up on a piece of paper with a pen. Can't write poetry on a computer.
I just don't think anything compares to the community experience you have when you go to a cinema, when you're sitting amongst fellow unexpecting audiences all about to experience something together at the same time. And it heightens your experience to hear people laugh next to you and giggle and gasp and bob their heads to the music. It's just, it heightens it so much. You're never going to have that experience at home quite in the same way if you're on your own, I don't think. Also the fact that it's shot on screen and it's projected on screen. It's shot on film and projected in a cinema. It's a truly cinematic experience. And I know it because I was fortunate enough to see it in person, but these sets aren't added in post. This isn't a CGI feel. There was no green screen. There was no, we'll make it look like 1969 later. Just use your imagination for now. I was there, I got to see it, and I'm telling you, when you sit there, you can feel that. You can feel the authenticity. It's just, you are truly transported to 1969.
In particularly with my movies, I'm going for a whole bunch of different emotions that sometimes are counterintuitive to each other. And part of that is part of what I'm trying to do is I'm playing the audience. I kind of feel my job is almost like a conductor, and the audience is my orchestra. And so I don't make movies for people that just kind of passively sit there and let the images glaze over them. I want them to respond. And so I make them so for the audience to actually react to, not just watch. And so I like the idea that, like, oh, they're laughing, they're laughing, they're laughing. Stop laughing. Stop laughing, stop laughing, laugh. You know, and now when a director can do that to you, and I've been an audience member and directors have done that to me that is an audience having a good time at the cinema. That is why I go to the cinema.